This is the game we're talking about, okay? Kraig's best qualities, I think, as a leader, he leads and he set examples. But the worst qualities, I would say, for me personally, sometimes he tell me to warm up the ball and he don't give me the ball. So I would say that's the worst one.
Yeah, in terms of obviously not giving any ball, I think that was only one instance I remember against England, and obviously he still ended up giving the boy got a wicket, and he last over, so that was
Every
great.
time.
But you know, some nice things change a bit and stuff, but I don't know. He's a decent bowler though. I must say he's a decent off spinner. He was spinning the ball more than me. I'm not sure if he's better, but he was spinning the ball more than me. All right, for me, you know, I think Jermaine, you know, is a really tough character. Mentally, and you know, even in tough periods, he always wants to. You know, I remember in England in 2017, he was asking Jason, you know, he wanted to go on back, you know, to get the runs off aheadly. You know, he has that type of strong attitude. You know, he's a real tough, you know, tough character. You know, for me, I think one of the things that really upsets me every morning is he's a very poor. Obviously, we play a handball, volleyball, slash with a softball, you know, tennis game, and he's easily one of the worst players I've ever seen.
That part is worse, man.
That's the worst, but I think two of them go hand in hand as the worst for sure at this tennis game. Kimar Roach too is pretty poor, to be honest.
Poor
But
player.
I would say Jermaine is one of the worst.
Ciao, boy.
A lovely series win against, you know, England, you know, a couple months ago. Now we're here against Bangladesh. You know, what you look forward to most, you know, in this series?
Well, I think before even an England series, I think the build-up before that England series was very great, and I think we are doing the same thing for this series as well. I think that so far, you know, we have some great training sessions so far. The guys working hard, and I can see the hunger and the determination in the guys' eyes. You know, we're really ready to go and play some hard cricket. So I'm just expecting, you know, the same result against England, against Bangladesh here. So once I think, you know, the guys can go out here and play hard, I don't have no doubt that we can win the series.
Yeah, I agree. I thought we had some very good sessions, you know, at the ground, you know, in the middle. Obviously, we had some net bowlers from Levers, you know, really challenge us and stuff. I thought that was great. And, you know, pretty much really looking forward to this series as a team.
Well, Kraigg, obviously you took over from the Bangladesh leg as a skipper, and you know, you're gonna play against them now. What kind of confidence you feel from that series to this one now?
Well, obviously going into that series in Bangladesh, obviously a few guys, you know, didn't go. Also, you had a young team, and you know, obviously a lot of guys were saying that we can't win and stuff. And I thought as a group, you know, we really came together. You know, as you would know, you know, we came together as a team. We had a few discussions, and basically we had a plan. And you know, obviously Kalmir and Bono, you know, were pretty new to international cricket, and they were hungry. And you know, for me as a leader, just, you know, giving them the belief that they could do it, you know, at this level. And you know, I really enjoyed our series. I mean, from the last game where he can, you know, I was telling him about a certain field, asking him if he wants to square leg back, and I was like, "You sure?" He was like, "Yeah, he's sure." Because the guys obviously needed like 10 runs to win or something, or 11 runs, one wicket left, and he was like, "No, bring him up." So I brought him up, and he got the guy out, you know, playing a defensive shot, and you know, for me that summed it up a lot. Just the attitude the guys had towards the series, the guys believe, and obviously the public thought, you know, we would have won beaten, you know, 2-0. Obviously, Bangladesh are a very strong team, especially at home, and you know, for us, we knew what we had to do. And the guys went out there, you know, as the leader and you as the voice captain, we just made the environment, you know, a nice environment for the guys to feel comfortable. And, you know, really been enjoying the journey thus far, you know, captaining. You know, I really enjoy leading. And for me, just leading from the front, you know, with actions. And, you know, and guys will follow, especially you really been leading the way, you know, in terms of preparation and attitude towards, you know, from warming up, you know, to before you go on the field, you know, doing catches. I think as obviously the senior guys, we just gotta continue doing that, and you know, I really enjoy, you know, obviously captaining, you know, this team. We have a lot of talent, you know, a lot of talented guys, and you know, I think the future is very bright for this team.
Yeah. What I would say though, from that tour, I think that, you know, you led the team like a champion. throughout that series. And I think all of the guys, rally around you as well. And, as a captain, you set the bar so high for all of us to follow, by you just going down in the morning, have a hit before, you're always there first in everything. So even when we're playing as well, the standard that you set for us is very high. And that is good because younger players and also senior players can also follow that trend that you set. And as you can see, we are making steady progress upwards. Since you start captaining the team, you can see the team steadily going up. And that is very good for yourself and also for West Indies cricket.
For me, it's not about underestimating, Bangladesh. I think they have some quality young seamers that, coming through. And how has your preparation been, a mindset towards, their bowlers and, looking at this series?
Well, I think Bangladesh win a game down in New Zealand. I watched that. I watched a few clips, some few highlights. I thought their bowlers, Bangladesh streamers, were pretty good, pretty decent. Not as quick, but I think they bowled generally good areas. So my preparation is, as always, we had some good bowlers in the camp so far. So a few guys from Leewoods and also a few guys from the test team. And I tell them just challenge me on top of half because that's the area I think that, in test cricket is really key. So, generally, I think I'm in a good mind space for the challenge. And I don't expect nothing less from Bangladesh to come and challenge us as batters. So we have to be mentally prepared as well for that.
Yeah, for me as well, it's not about underestimating and thinking Bangladesh bowlers, they were not as good as England. I saw some clips and obviously they have some skill, to be honest.
For sure.
And for me, it's just sticking in that mindset of playing the ball late as possible, and not thinking because they will not be top three in the world, that we will walk over. But as we said, preparation has been good. So as I told Bish, a couple months ago, it's important for the senior guys to lead. So obviously me and you did that well, against England, and it's just to continue it, and it's just by attitude, leading the way, which you have been outstanding, and Jason and Bonner, obviously Josh following really back, and it's just for us to, keeping that firm, always.
Yeah, I think they have some very good spinners as well. I think for the last couple of series as a batting unit, I think that we have been playing the spinners very good as well. So once we can just continue that into this series, I don't think we'll have a problem against their spinners because we're very patient and just wait and the bad delivery and stuff. So I think if we take that same mindset into the series, it'll be good. I just said, you as a captain, you've been leading from the front, and all the senior players have been stepping up. So once we can just have that same attitude and mindset in this series, we should be alright.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jason obviously resting this series. Obviously Jason is number one all-round in the world, and we will miss him for sure. And not just on the field, exploits, getting wickets and scoring runs, taking obviously spectacular catches at slick. He is the leader off the field, especially with the younger bowlers. And he will be missed, but in saying that, I think we have capable guys to take up the baton from Jace, and guys hungry. I mean, for us, it's just as a unit, sticking to the plans, and you always preach about being disciplined, and discipline is just sticking to one line of length and one particular field and bowling to that field for long periods, and not getting astray and straying balls to areas like down the leg. Say for instance, if you have a an offside set field or vice versa. But Jason will be a huge miss. But we got very much capable guys to obviously fill that spot and make West Indies and the Caribbean proud.
Well, I think for sure Devon Thomas have been knocking on the door for a while now. For the last few regional tournaments, he have been scoring a lot of runs. And he's gonna get his opportunity now. I think Raymond Reefer as well. Over the years, he have been a very great all-rounder in the Caribbean. If he only played one test match, he did really good. So to see those guys to come into the 13 is really good. I think they'll be very proud, and I think they're very hungry as well to just to come and showcase their talent and their skills onto the international platform. And I think we have a great leader here who I think we just guide them and also the senior players as well.
Yeah, obviously Moti, Moti as well, from Ghana. I played youth cricket with Moti right up to senior, And he's a very skillful, skillful bowler. He has a lot of talent, and he's a guy that, you can see he's hungry. You see him doing spot bowling after these sessions and stuff, and you look forward to him, doing well. If you get opportunity, obviously Devon and Raymond, been around first class, for a while. Obviously, but we played a few one-day games and stuff, and Raymond played one test, so these guys will be hungry, and I look forward to them, doing well, and obviously the team, doing well against, Bangladesh this summer.
What I can say about Moti, he's very consistent. I played against him a few years now. I recently just played against him as well in Trinidad, and he's very consistent with his areas that he bowls, and I think for a young man to have that consistency as a spinner is very good. And he also can bat, and that's a good thing. He have a good attitude. He likes to do spot bowling. So it's a plus for us as well to have a young player like that who is showing that determination from early.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, he scored 100 against Barbados, and obviously he's an aggressive type batsman, but he does have the skill, and I really look forward to seeing him progress obviously at international cricket.
Yep.
I think as a team, as I said, from the start, for me, I'll be preaching we can't underestimate Bangladesh. Obviously, they come in here hungry. They have some young, fast bowlers, and some good batsmen. They have some experienced batsmen that played a lot of test matches. So, for me, it's just having that correct attitude towards each day, each hour, each session, each ball, and, being disciplined and sticking to our plans. For me, that's about it. Attitude from batsmen, that we gotta fight for long periods. We can't just, think that we're gonna get 100 because it's Bangladesh, or at least because it's not a top 3 team in the world. I think we gotta have that attitude, that fighting attitude, and we stick together as a team. And I'm really looking forward to the series. Obviously, for making West Indies proud this summer. Really looking forward to this series. Obviously, a couple months ago, the series win against England. I thought before the series started, we had a camp, probably a week and a half. And for me, that's where it started. I thought as a unit, we had a little discussion again pertaining to how we want to go about the camp and everything. And I thought the attitudes we showed, in the camp, as batters and as bowlers, the bowlers challenged, the batsman, if the batsman got out, we had a 3-minute, 2-minute sit down from the net. So obviously guys didn't want, get a break, so guys were fighting not to, in the net, not to get out. Obviously bowlers want them to sit down. I thought it really started from there. And then in Antigua, obviously the first game, seeing how Jason and Bonner fought for the team in the last day, last 2 hours, was a real example, for me especially. And going into Barbados test match, obviously me and Jermaine, we knew we had to stand up. We wanted 2 more senior guys, in terms of batters, and and it's just by attitude. We went out there believing, we could do it. Obviously, when we started the partnership, guys were in some decent spells. Stokes was bowling, quite good. So we had some good discussions, on the pitch, how we're gonna go about. We ran hard between the wickets. I thought that was good. And we had to obviously fight for the runs. I thought England, especially Jack Leach, was very, very tight. Obviously, we defended a lot of balls. It really tested our patience, but I thought our communication in the middle, was superb. And we just fought. We didn't want to leave it for no one, to come. And I think we just decided that we'll do it, for long. And obviously, Jermaine got a century, a lot of tears, a lot of tears. But I think it was a very good achievement what we did in Barbados. We didn't win the game, but after England scoring 500 runs, you would expect West Indies to crumble. But we were in the field for a long period, so it was really good that we got out there and bat. Obviously kept England in the field for long, and it was very good. And obviously to see Joshua, his 100 in the last game, and that was remarkable. But I just think it started from that camp. The build-up, and it's all about attitude. Test cricket sometimes could be tough in the field for long periods. It's easy mentally to shut off and be like, nah, but I thought we were very strong. We kept England in the field for very, very long periods. And I think that was a good example for us, to keep any team we play, we have that same attitude, as batsmen. I think that would carry us a very, very long way.
The second test in Barbados, I found myself coming in from the from the first test, I didn't really get any runs. I was very high in confidence in the first test, also in the second test as well. But, you know, I just told myself that I'm going to leave out certain shots in the second test and try to bat as long as possible. And, you know, you make my job more easy when I go out there and see the boss himself, Kraigg, batting. So, and me and Kraigg always have a good relationship off the field and on the field. So whenever I go out there and see Kraigg, is always a joy to bat with the skipper. And as you said, our communication was very good because we know each other so well. So even if I play a shot that I, you know, not supposed to play, he will come down and say, you know, X, Y, Z, you know. So I immediately have to get back, you know, on my game plan. And I think that was very good because, you know, that partnership, we wasn't really focusing on that too much. We was just focusing on one ball at a time, one over at a time, and just to try bat as long as possible. And to see Kraigg, you know, score his 100 was a great feeling for me when, you know, when I'm there to see, you know, our captain, you know, leading from the front, and me as well, you know, step up and score 100 as well. For me personally, it felt very great because all the hard work and stuff that I put in to, you know, to reap that, the fruit of my labor, you know, it was very great. And as Kraigg said, I shed a few tears of joy, but, you know, overall, the partnership was a great one, and I always enjoy batting with Kraigg. I think he's a wonderful batsman and a wonderful leader, and I always like to bat with him because, you know, whenever I would slip up, he always put me back on track, batting-wise.
To be honest, is obviously he played the bar shot. I don't have to tell him. I mean, that's going on, so keep going. It's not that I gotta tell him, well, do this or do that. I think the relationship we have and communication is not that I would tell him, well, play the ball here or play the ball there. You know, the fact that obviously he will be upset with himself, and for me, just to encourage him to keep going, you know, and sticking your plans basically is for me, that's basically it. Yeah, I think at some periods, obviously he throws off some bowlers, you know, if they bowl obviously a light ball, you know, he would obviously hit them for four quite easily, and, you know, they would become a little frustrated. Sometimes it's good to, you know, to see a batter obviously, you know, making the bowler obviously uncomfortable at times. But generally just batting with him and the communication we have, obviously he's quite fast, so, you know, short runs are, you know, once you call him is right or, you know, go well. But yeah, just the energy he brings, you know, from even running between the wickets, you know, is always, you know, is always great. But I mean, me and Jermaine would have played from under 15, you know, together, so it goes a long way. So, you know, just being out there and is always, you know, a great experience.
Yeah, well, Kraigg, fast obviously, but you know, I'm from Jamaica, so you know, I have a little speed, but as you said, the communication is good. Once, you know, we play a ball and we decide we're going to take one, it's very easy, or two is very easy because we communicate so good. We don't even have to say anything, we just run. That is the kind of communication that we have. Bowling-wise, I would say he's the better bowler because he has more test wicket than me, but he bowl a lot of overs as well. So I don't really bowl much. So yeah, but we both are good spinners, man, and we always just come and do our job whenever we get the chance to.
Yeah, I think just on that, I think Jermaine, anytime he's giving the ball, obviously sometimes it won't be long periods, but, you know, he's obviously a guy that can get a breakthrough. And I think that's a good attribute, you know, he has, you know, for sure as a bowler. But I do think he could bowl better than me, you know. That's the truth. His off break comes out better, but yeah, he's very capable of getting breakthroughs, to be honest. Well, no, my speed can't compare to Jermaine. He's faster than me by far, so that's no argument there. Sure, but he's a worse tennis player for sure, no doubt. He and Kimar Roach, he goes under the radar, but he's easily
poor.
He could easily be the worst too, to be honest.
The build-up before that series was very great in terms of the way how we prepared for the series, and, you know, just to see how, you know, the players go out there and step up. In every game, we have at least 2 or 3 players who step up, different players. So that was very good, you know. Obviously, the first game, Banner batted brilliantly, and Jason as well. And I think that the second game, me and Kraigg, you know, we just took it on ourselves that, you know, we're not going to leave it for no one else. And I think that is the motto we have in the team as batters. We don't leave it for anyone else. Whoever get in, we're going to stay out there as long as possible. And I think the last test match with Josh was brilliant. You know, the way how he go out there and fight, you know, before that game, you know, he wasn't feeling 200 about, you know, his performance and stuff. And just to see, you know, the way how he worked hard in training and to see he got that 100 was very deserving. And, you know, all of us as a team, we felt that. And also Kyle Mears as well, you know, he took his first mid-5 wicket off West Indies was brilliant. And the way, you know, he came in as well in that game as well and go out there and bat as well was very good for us as a team. So as I said, you know, each game we have someone who come and steps up, and I think that in Test cricket you really want that. And once you can have like the senior players, you know, leading the way and stuff, that will be even more important. So I think that, you know, for that series was very great. So just continue the same process now for the series and going forward.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great feeling. Obviously, as the captain, you know, winning the first, you know, Viv and Richards and both of them, you know, trophy, I think it was spectacular. Obviously, that was the goal we set about, you know, before the series. So, I mean, it was amazing. Obviously, we celebrated, you know, in the dressing room, you know, after the game, and it was good to see the fans in Grenada as well. Yeah. You know, a lot of fans came out, you know, and supported us. I think that was remarkable. Also, we had a lot, and you know, thanking them, and it was, we really enjoyed that, you know, playing in Grenada, and you know, hopefully to be there again, you know, sometime. But obviously, we urge obviously the Antigua fans to, you know, come out and support us. But you know, that series win was spectacular, you know, for this team.